Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Thanks for tuning in. As the coffee crew rolls into the live stream, just good to say good morning. Thanks to everybody for tuning in on a Monday. Kind of a crazy weekend again. What are we going to talk about today? There's lots to talk about, that's for sure. Definitely interesting times out there. But as you're watching, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in live. Coffee Crew's here, and if you're watching on the replay, we go live Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock to about 8:45. It'd be great to have you join on live, but always it's on the replay. Over on the channel as well, you can always catch the replay recording. So all good, all good. So how's everybody this morning? Let me know in the comments below. If this is your first time here, don't be afraid. Good group of people. We talk about our TFSAs, we talk about investing, we talk about what the heck is going on in the world, and don't be afraid to ask away. There's a good chance if I can't help you or steer you in the right direction, guaranteed someone in the portfolio, or certainly not in the portfolio, someone in the live stream will be able to steer you in the right direction as well. So let me know how everybody's doing. We got a few people going on. As always, don't forget, hit the like button. There we go. We got all the housekeeping out of the way. And first thing first, let's grab a cup of sip of coffee. Need the coffee this morning. It's a wet, rainy day here. I don't know what it's like where everybody else is watching, but had a really nice weekend though. The weather was great on Saturday. It was actually warm. Not to rub it into anybody I know that's back east, but some of the blossoms and stuff on the trees are starting to come out. Started to kind of notice it on the trees here. So spring is close, which is nice. So it's nice to get outside, get some sunshine. Then of course, Monday morning, rain. And we'll see who is here rolling in. As always first. Candace, good morning. Channel member, thank you so much. Thanks for supporting the channel, Candace. Always appreciated. Candace, I caught the tail end of your live stream yesterday, so I got to kind of catch that on the replay. But I was out enjoying the sunshine. Your stream is always at like it's at 1 o'clock my time, and it's like afternoon time, and it's a Sunday, so it's sometimes if I don't put the reminder on, I forget, and then or if I'm out and about, I'm like, oh, I missed it. That's usually what happens. But I'll catch the replay. Always good. And then for those that are wondering, we'll give a little plug to the channel members. If you're not following Candace's channel, make sure you go follow Mountain Finance. She has a great channel out there. It goes into lots of deep dives for individual stocks, ETFs, much more than I do. And she's got a great channel on there. And then also she does have channel memberships as well, where she posts some channel member only videos, which is always good to see. There we go. And if you want to become a channel member of this one, people sometimes ask, what's it about? It's I share all my buys and sells if I sell anything on my channel membership tab. Do the odd also channel member videos that you kind of see, a bit more informal videos, that kind of thing over there on the membership tab. And there we go. That's the plugs. That's all the plugs for today. All good. And Stan, good morning. Good morning. Hopefully your day is going so well. Monday off the start. I think it's gonna be a busy week for me. It's shaping up, which is good. It's always nice to wake up and have a few emails to kind of take care of. So it means if I'm working, it means I'll have money to invest, which is always a good thing. And down, snowbanks are shrinking, but they're still there. Yeah, I think we had a bit of snow here, Candace, a few weeks ago, and it piles up in the parking lots. That's kind of it. It's all off the streets and the snowbanks and that kind of stuff. There might be a few small piles that haven't melted in the corner of the parking lots, but that's about it. Although the mountains still have a lot of snow. If you see, it was nice and clear here on Saturday, and the mountain here still covered in snow. Beautiful actually, but at least it's up there and not on the roads. And let's get your joke out of the way. Here we go. ChatGPT joke from Candace. Always first in the stream. How many bankers does it take to sell a stock? Just one, but he'll convince you to buy a whole portfolio. That's the problem. You always want to buy. And it never seems to be enough money to get what you want to get. But hey, that's life. Can't put everything into your investments in stock market. You have bills to pay, that kind of thing. And I have, on that note, I still have to do my weekly deposit. It's Monday, so I will get that in this week, and probably today. I just have to get to it. I haven't been in front of my much. It's still early, so by the end of probably the end of the day, I'll do my regular purchase. Still doing the same thing, 1 share of VDY. I'll purchase a share of the PSA to put some cash away. Unless I see something. I haven't really looked at my portfolio too much this morning, trying not to look at it at everything too much, but and then some into the S&P. That's kind of where things are still headed for me. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if anybody's bought anything today, sold anything. There's obviously lots going on in the world and the market. Whole thing with Credit Suisse over the weekend. No shortage of interesting news over the past two, couple weekends. It's usually on, Saturdays and Sundays we can take a bit of a breather and break from like the market. But there's always like, it seems like it's like what's going to happen next. We're kind of like what the heck is going to happen next week? What's the next bank that's going to possibly need assistance next weekend? It's kind of crazy out there. That is for sure. Oh, is it maple syrup? Is it maple syrup time back east? I have a friend in Ontario that does that every year. They do I don't know when it actually is, but they have the maple syrup festival out there, and they do the maple syrup in the snow and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. And ChatGPT 3 is holding out on the really good jokes. I'm sure. Yeah, to get you to subscribe to a pro account. Have you subscribed to the pro account, Candice? I saw that pop up last week. I don't see the justification for me, anyways, to spend the $20 on the new version. It's supposed to be pretty amazing, from what I've heard. There was actually, I saw a Twitter thread about somebody that used it to. I think it was he used ChatGPT to create a website and business. So it used ChatGPT 4, I believe, to create basically a online website selling product through affiliates, and also but used it to research trends, researched what would be worthwhile for selling, that kind of stuff. It created all of the copy for the website, all the helped with all the coding of the website. Like literally everything was done on ChatGPT, and the website's launched. He's selling. I don't know if it's fully launched yet, because I think as I was reading through it, ChatGPT said, "Okay, you can now launch this website," but it wasn't quite ready. It wasn't quite ready for purchases and that kind of stuff. But it must be close to being that. I have to pull that up. I bookmarked it, and really interesting. They were selling kind of sort of health products, like different things like that. So interesting how to see what comes of it. It's definitely getting a lot of news and traction, and no justification. Wait till it becomes part of the. So you have Office 365, yeah, and I think they're starting to roll that out into that pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken, Microsoft, and it's it'll be interesting. Interesting times, that's for sure. It's pretty crazy what it can actually do. Yeah, definitely. With ChatGPT 4, I still use the regular one. It helps me out with my YouTube channel. I haven't started using it for work yet. For typing, I should actually give it a try. For emails and stuff like that, maybe. I don't typically do huge emails. Keep things pretty concise. But it'd be interesting to see how that would actually work. That being said, I do kind of use a bit of AI because I have Grammarly on my computer that I use for typing emails. So that's, technically kind of AI as well. So it just doesn't create the full transcript or dialogue that I'm trying to create. Yeah, do you remember those? You remember that paperclip thing? It used to always pop up at the worst time, and it would like pop up, and it would be in the way, and it would try and do this. I don't use Microsoft Word. It drives me crazy, because it's like one of those things where it's still like that. You move something around, and then it, like, the whole thing gets shifted and formatted and everything else. I do use Google Docs for any kind of Word documents that I have to open up and edit, that kind of stuff. I find that works. I find for me that works a bit better. I don't have to do a ton of really complex documents by any means. So the Google Docs works pretty well for me, and also for spreadsheets, I use Google Sheets as well. Seems to work fine. I used to have Office, but it stopped running on my new Mac, the version I had, so I would have had to upgrade to subscribe, and it's just like, what's the point? So that old paperclip, Clippy was it? I think his name was Clippy. Date myself there. Oh, there you go. So you tap the trees and you're going to boil it off tomorrow. That's awesome. Yeah, that looked like a lot of fun. My friend, he always kind of shares it on his Instagram or something like that, and said they go out and do the whole thing with the kids. Although his kids are older now, so I don't know whether the kids, maybe it's not fun for the older kids anymore. But uh, I would go and do that if you're out there. Kind of fun. Kind of fun. All right. So, what the heck is happening? We obviously, if you followed a bit of the news I haven't pulled up an article, but there's so much out there. What the heck is happening? Credit Suisse obviously getting bought out. Uh, Lots of, I wouldn't say, well, yeah, you can call it problems with the banks. Obviously, the powers that be are saying everything is fine now. Take that with a grain of salt, possibly. But I think it definitely interesting times out there, for sure. There is always kind of the what I follow a little bit on from some of the people on Twitter this morning is talking about like are Canadian banks safe? I think so. I know, Candace, you were talking a little bit about Canadian banks on your live stream yesterday. I think generally safe, but it's always interesting because everything's always good and safe until it's not. So I think it's I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how things, if other places and things are affected by this. It seems like, I mean, not to sound doom and gloom, but it seems like pretty, I think, naive if we're not a little bit, but it's hard to say what the heck is going on. And lots this week again, lots happening in the market, in announcements, right? And Candace brings it up. Tomorrow is Canadian CPI, so we'll have that tomorrow to look at. I think it's coming down, right? I think that's kind of the consensus. I've noticed. I mean, big thing is gas. I had to fill up my car on the weekend, and prices have come down for watching oil. Seems to be a bit of pullback a little bit on some of the prices I've noticed in the grocery store. Also seeing more stuff on sale out there. So hopefully we start to see things kind of come down. And then the big thing, right? Obviously the big one is going to be, you beat me to the punch there, Candace, is Wednesday, is the Fed decision on rate hikes. And this is where it gets kind of tricky. There's both sides of the camp here. Are they going to raise? Are they going to pause? I've even who this is where this one on Wednesday will be an interesting one to see what the heck is happening and what the Fed is feeling. Now, let me know your predictions in the comments. I'll let those, if you're watching, I'll let you let me know, what do you think the Fed's going to do? Up, down, do nothing? That will be interesting. It will also be very interesting to know what the commentary that comes out of this is, obviously, because there's been a lot that's happened. Banks in the States, banks now, Credit Suisse. So I think if it's definitely going to be interesting. That's for sure. There's no shortage of what the heck is going on. I think you're kind of right on there, Candace. Candace thinks obviously they have to raise 25 basis points. If they pause, it could it could cause more panic. I think you're right there. I think they're going to try. It's probably going to depend on. I mean, we can maybe look today a little bit. The market seems to be okay today after everything that's kind of happened on the weekend and certain things. So I think they're going to try. Correct. I'm in the same boat, and then yeah, that kind of rolls into pausing next time. From everything I've been reading is, I think if you're looking into how the market is pricing out in the future, we're going to see rate drops sooner rather than later. So we could see a pause this time, and then the next one could even be a drop. Who knows? I think we're going to start to see rates coming down by the summer. That's kind of where I think things are kind of coming on to go. But that will definitely time will tell what the heck is happening. And I think in the meantime, for me, I'm just not diverting from my plan, and that kind of makes it simple. Not to try and read too much into anything, but stick with the plan that I had put in place, and just keep moving forward slowly but surely. That's where I plan to go. So it'll be interesting. And then the Bank of Canada one is coming up. I think it's April, right? I always forget. Let me Google that up. 2023 April, I think. Yeah, April 12th. So that will be soon. That will be soon enough. Obviously, as we know, Bank of Canada is kind of paused already. So I think we're safe to probably see we'll know CPI numbers tomorrow, right? I think we're going to start to see them coming down. So I think the bank will still, our end Bank of Canada will probably still pause unless something goes completely haywire, and they start to drop them. But I think they want to try and pause as long as they can. Interesting times, that is for sure. And that's all. That's kind of the news. So if anybody else has anything else they want to bring up, it's always early Monday morning. Everybody's always seems to be quieter on Mondays, but do let me know down in the shoot a comment in terms of that. And I had one article, and I always close it off, and I can't seem to find it now. And it was, there it is. It was more on, hold on here. Because it's coming up to this time of year, which is everybody's favorite time of year. Taxes is coming up. I started kind of working on my taxes a little bit over the weekend. Never fun, because all your slips are starting to come out now. For the most part, are out, so you can get them all. Get them all out there. Just be aware of scams, and we talked about scams before. Lots of text messages going around for CRA stuff, so be careful with that. Be careful with email stuff from CRA. Definitely email claims. This is always interesting. It nearly doubled from last year. And the biggest things to watch out for, just obviously, I hope everybody that's watching knows to kind of keep out on the watch. Text messages that can contain personal information with the link claiming to be from CRA. It's not. CRA doesn't text you. Also, phone calls. Be careful with that. It's a good idea. A lot of times, I think, when CRA really wants to get a hold of you, they will send you a letter. If you've signed up for your online, which I think most people probably have now, your online account, that will also show up in there, so you can kind of double check that. And they, emails and texts offering a GST, HST tax refund. Definitely, if anybody's offering you money and it's the CRA, that it's not true, it will come out in your taxes. So be aware of that. And also, big one, be aware of, there's an error in your CRA account. Don't click any links. If you're always going into your CRA, go into your bookmark it on your computer so you know it's the actual one that you're going to properly. And just be careful with that. If you think something, if you've received something you're unsure about, the best thing to do, and of course, unfortunately, it's probably will take a while to get through to them, but the best thing to do is give them a call and ask them, because they'll know if actually something was sent out to you. You'll wait on hold probably for a few hours, but better safe than sorry. So that was just kind of a little bit of, just to be careful out there. Obviously, this time of year, people like to, the scams always kind of heat up for whatever reason, because they can pick on people that might fall for these kind of things. And yeah, Bitcoin is liking the chaos. Yes, I was happy to see that. Obviously, everybody knows I invest in Bitcoin. You have you can see in my portfolio, I do have the Bitcoin Yield ETF, as well as the Purpose Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. And it is liking the chaos. The big thing that was going around on Bitcoin and Twitter on the weekend, Candace, was someone had put out a bet, basically kind of a bet, predicting that Bitcoin will be priced at $1 million within 90 days. Now, I think if Bitcoin was to actually get to $1 million within 90 days, I think that would be, I think we'd have a lot of other problems to worry about other than, and not be so exuberant of Bitcoin being $1 million. There would definitely be some trouble out there. That is for sure. Basically saying the bet is kind of like, hyperinflation coming. Hard to know what is heck is going to happen, but Bitcoin seems to like that chaos, and it did. It hit over $28,000. Which was nice to see. I don't know what it's at now. Let me pull it up. I think it's hovering. Excuse me. I think it's hovering just under. Oh, it is still over 28. It still is just over 28,000. Let's pull this up. The chart's always kind of wonky. Yeah, $28,018 US right now. So that's good if you have Bitcoin. It's been doing quite well. It does like chaos with what is going out there. Again, everybody, it's not, if you're investing. I don't know how many people watching. I know, Candace, you had Bitcoin, which you sold, and I think you've made some more money from other opportunities. I haven't sold any of my Bitcoin. I've actually never sold Bitcoin. I've only ever bought Bitcoin. But might be some opportunity there. I don't know. It's doing well year to date, that's for sure, for people that have just gotten into digital currencies, obviously. But be careful. Don't put all of your money into one. Don't, like anything, don't put all of your money into one basket. I think it's okay. Personally, I like to have a percentage of my investments into digital assets. It's Bitcoin. I don't buy anything else other than I do have the Ethereum ETF, but I don't own any Ethereum. The only digital currency I have outside of my investments on Wealthsimple is Bitcoin. So that's kind of that. I typically use ShakePay to buy it, get it. I'm still actually on. It's funny. I'm still on my 1,000 shake streak, which is kind of nice. So I can shake that every day. I'm up to day. What day am I at here? Over 400. I know that. Let me just pull it up. Let me see. Shake it. 466 days on my shake streak, which is awesome. So that kind of helps. And I still use it for my daily purchases. I transfer over, use like a debit card. It gives me 1% cash back in Bitcoin. And then after, usually about every week or so, I transfer it over. I have a Ledger wallet, so I transfer that out, and we do that. So I'm still, Candace. Yeah, I know. I have. Yeah, that's the thing. I think I probably shake it probably 10. Like you always kind of you overshake because you're worried and you don't want to lose it. But I have an alarm, a reminder alarm set up. So what I do is I set my alarm, and what it does is it beeps at 9 o'clock. So I know that it to shake it, it'll give me a reminder on my phone. So that's what I do. I'm just going to adjust my camera here a little bit. 1 second. There we go. It's starting to buzz on me. Anyways, so that's what I do, and I hopefully don't want to lose it. I want to try, Candace, and get to. I want to try and get to 1,000. That would be nice. That's the next. That's the end. It was funny though. I saw someone post because some people post their screenshots of all their shakes, right, in their shake streak, and I don't know when this was, but it was obviously after I joined ShakePay. But they used to actually give. For the highest streak was 21,000 satoshis, and so someone had posted their shake list, and it was each time they did it, they got 21,000 satoshis. That would be nice, for sure. Now, considering what the price was, the price back then would have been quite substantially less, so they canceled that. That's probably what they're going to do. If Bitcoin goes up too much, I'm sure they'll kind of cut back on what they offer for the dream of a 1,000-day shake streak. Yeah, they've also cut back. They used to have a thing where they would pay you on your cash balance. So if you kept cash balance on your, oops, I think I froze there for a minute. If they pay you on your cash balance, they would pay interest on your cash balance with cash back in Bitcoin. They're no longer doing that. They've canceled that, which is unfortunate. But I guess probably because the price of Bitcoin is up so much, they have to make sure that they can still make money. Obviously, that's one thing. So that was kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Still free to use your debit card, so that's fine. There's also, I know someone commented, as MC commented, and I did a bit of digging on that too, is because Wealthsimple has their cash portion, and they pay interest on the balance on that now too. It's about, if you have a certain amount of investments with Wealthsimple, I think it's $100,000, you would get 4% interest on your cash balance, which isn't actually bad. So they're trying to, I think, build up a bit of cash balance in there, which is good. So something with that. I don't use the Wealthsimple Cash app. I just don't. I have other. I just don't use it. I just have the other ShakePay card, so I kind of use that as well. And yeah, shaking for 21,000 would be nice. I would have 10 alarms set up to not forget that streak. That's for sure. And go, yeah. I didn't freeze. Okay, I was freezing on my end for some reason when I look at my studio, but it's good. It seems to be working, so I'll carry on. And you saw an ad. So was that the deposit for the Wealthsimple ad, Candice? I think, yeah, I had an email come through. No, MC. How the heck did I find out about it? No, I had an email from them it was for options. There was something else they emailed me for. Oh, I had a webinar. There was a webinar they had that I got emailed. But it was MC that mentioned the 4%. I think the regular interest they pay if you're under a certain balance is, I think it's like 1.5, 2% or something like that. But I just don't use the that section of it for anything. I have it loaded on, I have a card, their card. I have it loaded on my phone, but I just don't have any money in there. But that's it. But they also do cashback. They do cashback as well, so they'll pay interest. Actually, if they pay interest a little bit, and then cashback is good too. So I guess I maybe should look, because if I'm using ShakePay, I have to calculate it. They pay 1% cashback in Bitcoin. They don't pay interest anymore on your balance. So actually, Wealthsimple would probably make more sense, because you can move the cashback into. You can choose what account it goes into. And that would actually work out better, because I'd be making interest. I don't carry a huge balance though on my prepaid kind of Visa. I only kind of transfer a couple $100 at a time, so there's not like it's really going to make that much of a difference to switch things around. But the one thing I'm not happy about, and maybe it's because I'm old and set in my ways, is I'm not happy that Wealthsimple is discontinuing their the Invest Side app. Like, they're keeping that product going, but they've rolled everything into the one app now. So all of the stuff I have on my Invest Side is in the trade. Like, and they're basically just going to focus on one app. And the Invest Side stuff I find super annoying on the other app. It doesn't give you as much information. It's just kind of, so I still go back to the old one, but they're going to be taking it away, I think, at the end of this month, which is kind of annoying. I like that old app, but that's just me being grumpy about it. But that's the only thing. Train, good to have you here. Good morning. Hopefully you're doing well. Happy Monday. Oh, and Matthew, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for making it. Like the stream, all that kind of good stuff. For people that are just tuning in, you did leave a comment, and it was for daily buys. I think it's only the days Monday to Friday, but if anybody knows in the chat, if because I don't have automatic daily buys set up. I believe it's only 5 days a week. instead of 7 if you do the daily thing, because obviously the market's closed, so it's not going to process it. If it did do 7 days a week, I think it would carry over to the Monday, and you have a big buy on Monday. I could be completely wrong, but if anybody knows that has that set up, maybe help Matthew out and let him know. But that's a good question. Can be kind of confusing. I I have reoccurring buys set up, but they're weekly. I have a weekly buy for, or sorry, not a weekly, a bi-week. Like I do a bi-weekly buy for my RSP, and so I couldn't tell you. But if anybody knows, Candace, you might actually know that. I don't, but I don't know if you do reoccurring buys or not. I guess the question for Matthew: have you tried to do daily auto buy and see what it actually does? I have a feeling it's only 5 days a week. I think it's when market's open. I have a feeling. And I'm just trying to think, because I do my weekly purchase, and I do it manually as well. I don't even have that set up for daily, for weekly auto. Yeah. I kind of like to do it myself. And Candace hasn't done, so nobody's done reoccurring buys. You know who might know would be Zach, but unfortunately Zach I think is working all this week. He's usually in here. Yeah, good question though. You might Matthew, you might find something on the help pages on the Wealthsimple, possibly. If you go to their actual website, you might find it. They also have on the website, you can do the chat. And just initiate a chat. I find I've had to do it a couple times for different things, and they're usually pretty quick at getting back to you. So you probably only have to wait online about a few minutes before they kind of say, and I could probably answer it pretty quickly. So you haven't. I set them up. I sent them a message, but didn't reply. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Maybe try I don't know if you tried the live chat. Try the live chat. Might kind of work. I've only done it on the web, on the browser. It seemed to work really well. I don't know if they have live chat in their app or not. So, but that's where I'm kind of leaning towards. I think it's actually only on days the market is actually open, because I've had things happen where like my biweekly, like I have a biweekly deposit going into my RSP, and I do it for Fridays, and then obviously sometimes what happens is Friday is a holiday, so it actually won't come out until the following week, when the market is back open. So just something to be aware of. I think you're right there, Train. I think it's pretty sure it's only on days the market's open. So if you do an automatic buy, it'll actually buy it. That'd be nice to be able to set up something every day. That's a good way to do it. That's a good way to do it for sure. To transfer it over, or you could also have a weekly. You could have a weekly instead of setting up. I mean, Matthew, instead of setting up buys, you could do a weekly deposit and do it yourself if you want. But everybody's kind of different. The thing about the weekly buys is it takes a lot of the emotion, some of the emotion out of it. If you do a daily or weekly, you just it happens. You've budgeted towards it, and you're not questioning hitting that buy button if it's the right time of the day or whatever, right? It just kind of happens and you're done, and you can put it, like literally invest on autopilot and not have to pay too much attention on that. The only thing I would just be careful on is make sure that you have, obviously, if it's coming from an account, if you're doing it daily especially, that it isn't, be careful you're not possibly getting into for some reason like an NSF, because those can cost you a lot if you do it by mistake sometimes, or for whatever reason you have a reoccurring buy and then all of a sudden you have some big bill come up or something like that, and you use that account and you forget about your automatic purchases. If it's whatever amount it is, you just want to make sure you're not taking yourself into that territory just in case. That's what I would caution about a little bit. I've made the mistake with pulling from the wrong account into Wealthsimple, and thankfully I caught it because it'll do the instant deposit into your account, but it usually takes a day or so to actually show up in your actual bank. And I realized as soon as I did it, I thought, I've done the wrong. I took it from a wrong account that doesn't have that money in it. So I had to transfer. I went into the other bank, transferred it in just to cover it just after. But if I had missed it and forgot and didn't catch that, I would have been probably dinged with a, what is it, NSF is like 20 or 30, $40 or whatever it is. Cost you fortune. So just be careful with, that's the one kind of negative side about automatic payments coming out. Same with, like, I know they have the roundup. Some places have like the roundup payments and all that kind of stuff, and sometimes that will cause an over like an NSF as well. Just be careful with those kind of things. They sound great on when you're looking at it, but you have to be careful that you're on top of where your accounts are coming from. Always good. Always good. Matthew, I guess question though, what's the stock or ETF that you're buying every day? That's always kind of interesting to hear. Is there a certain ETF that you're buying you want to buy every day or weekly, however you do it? Always kind of interesting to hear what other people are doing on there. Yeah. All right. And hopefully I'm not actually frozen through all this, because it keeps popping up. I see it out of the corner of my eye and it's still frozen. So let me know. Hopefully everything's okay with a thumbs up. I don't know. My computer is must be working slow today. I don't have a ton of windows open either, but I guess it's Monday. It's Monday with my computer, and I guess it's not liking to work that much on overtime today. So still working. Good to know. As we pull it up, it makes it confusing though, Candace, because I can see it but I'm frozen. But the comments don't always show. Like the comments don't show up as well. But that's okay. We'll roll with it until people say, "Hey, you're not moving" in the comments. I'll just keep yammering away. Let's go in and out. If Matthew, again, if you're still watching, let us know what you're buying. But we'll, because we can always add it to the coffee crew list on there and show what we're doing. But we had we'll pull up. We haven't pulled up for this actually for a while. Is the coffee crew watch list? See how we're doing. Because Matthew, if there's anything that's not, maybe the ones that you're investing in is not on here, it's one we kind of watch. If there's anything else anybody over is kind of got their eye on, let me know. It's always kind of good to watch and keep what's going. And these are kind of some ideas for people as well on different stocks, ETFs. They're watching. A lot of green out there today, which is nice. It's nice to have a Monday in a bit of green, and so that's all good. All right. Oh, so it is freezing, but the voice is okay, so you can listen good. That's all that matters. I don't know what's going on today. It's Monday. It's okay. We're all good. It might work out once the replay goes on. Sometimes I think there's a buffering thing with YouTube. Maybe there's lots of people. Maybe there's lots of people on YouTube that are streaming right now, and that's why it's not cooperating on my end or something. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Good question. Just getting started. Well, welcome to the investing world. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. You'll hate it, but it is a lot of fun in there as well. Really should have someone look at your portfolio. I just figured it would be best for dollar cost averaging. Okay, yeah, good call. If you're just getting started, that's awesome. It's nice to, it's always nice to have new. If you're new, that's for sure. I mean, I'm relatively new to doing it myself. Only the last couple of years. Obviously, if you follow the channel, you kind of know. I started April. Oh gosh, it's almost been 2 years then. April 1st, 2021, which is that. That's the hard part though. Matthew, is there's no shortage of choices and where to go, what to do, what to start. I think a good place to look at that though too is if you're wondering about what portfolios other people have, is if you're not already, check out Blossom. There's a ton of Canadian investors on there that obviously a lot of them share their portfolios, some don't, but kind of a good place to look. But Blossom also does have a kind of a you can search by popularity, so that's kind of sometimes a good way to put you in the right direction. And as long as you're I'm going to assume you're probably looking for some kind of ETF or something like that. That's a good way to get started into dollar cost averaging. I know, obviously, not it's never to say buy something for sure. Not financial advice. It's always kind of the what we say is maybe check out some of the more indexed ETFs. XEQT is a very popular one for people on the channel. I know Zach's not here; he can't sing the praises of it, but that's kind of a good portfolio that will cover literally the world in terms of equities. So that may be one thing to look at. Probably a good one to actually dollar cost average into. As Candace says here, dollar cost averaging will almost always make you better returns over the long run. Yeah, that's the thing. It probably will, but it also takes a lot of the emotion and pressure out of actually having to put a big chunk of money on something to get started. I think even if starting out, like if I was starting out today, I would probably still would just keep. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, something like a cash ETF. If you have a chunk of money that you're waiting to invest, I would put it probably into something like, well, I have PSA in my account, but put it into a cash ETF, make almost 5% on it, and each week sell whatever X amount of that and put it into something to dollar cost average. I think that's probably a good way to do it, especially now. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's one way to do it. I don't think I would put a ton. If I had a big chunk, I don't think I would necessarily put it all into the market right away. That's just me though. And I would probably just keep some in cash and just slowly dollar cost average into it. Seems to work. And we're green for is it the first day of spring? I did not know that. There we go. So green first day of spring, which is nice. I still have to do, speaking of green, I still have to do my portfolio update. I didn't get a chance this weekend. The weekend just kind of flew by, and I figured I'll get it. I will get one done the next couple of days. So I'll have my portfolio update for those that are wondering. So there's a bit of green in there, still down, obviously, with my things, but. And Brian, good morning. Good to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. Kind of coming in closer to the end, but that's all good. And Matthew, if you're still watching as well, I would check out some of Candace's videos. She's got some great videos on different ETFs and that kind of stuff to maybe steer you in some of the right direction. It can be confusing, that's for sure. I'm still sometimes confused about what to get or what to buy. I think that's part of the somewhat of an enjoyment about it too, is figuring out what to purchase, and hopefully it goes up. It doesn't always though. That's always not always the case, but pretty happy with for me, like what I'm invested in, where with the risks of some of the investments that I have in my TFSA, pretty happy with where things are, and it's typically all really long-term investments, so not sweating the small stuff. So first day of spring is the 21st, so tomorrow, but the initial time zone event is the 21st. So okay, so it's spring somewhere. All good. That's funny. Spring somewhere. There we go. All right. Well, we're coming up at 1:45. Thanks, everybody. These are always a lot of fun. Where the conversation goes. These are always good streams. Gets me motivated for the morning. Hopefully you as well. Good place to pop in and say hi. Definitely. We will be back. There'll be another live stream tomorrow, as you know, posted on the channel. We will have, I'll get that scheduled later on, so you can set the notification as you get ready, and we'll talk about that. We've got a big week ahead. So we've got the Fed, like we said, the Fed coming up on Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll have Canadian CPI to look at. We'll see how that pans out, and it will. Pull that back. It'll be an interesting week for sure. So hopefully the rest of your day goes well, everybody. Hopefully I'm not frozen, because I'm seeing it frozen off the side on my corner. But thanks for tuning in. Do really appreciate it. Keep an eye out on the channel. We'll have the channel portfolio update posted very shortly once I get that recorded. And that's all, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't liked the stream yet, hit the like. Last time I'll say it. Thanks again to channel members showing up. Didn't see Nadia today. Haven't seen a couple of them, but I know Candace showed up as a channel member, and do really appreciate supporting the channel, Candace. I will use that, as always. That will go into my investing. So any little bit always kind of helps. Like to say, it's always kind of nice. We'll see how it kind of grows out. And it would be, we'll leave it at this. It would be a fantastic to have a green week. That would be nice. We haven't had one of those for all week for a while, but I think we're in for some choppy. I think we're still in for some choppy time for the short term. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. And there we go. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow, 8 o'clock Pacific time. I'll be here.